Hi everyone! I am testing my new camera and my new light ring, so I'm wondering if my internet connection is enough for this very much higher quality than my previous camera. So if it looks a bit choppy, very laggy, please let me know and I might lower the resolution. So the point of this video is to explore the music genre iceberg. You might have seen this meme before. You have an iceberg picture with different levels, and the deeper you go, the more abstract or underground it is. I think it's very explicative having the iceberg analogy, and I think this is a very good way to learn about new music, having a music genre iceberg. I think you're probably seeing here the picture with the music genres on the left and the levels on the right. And another reason I'm making this video is because I really want to become this. I really want to become an eyeless dolphin. That's been my goal in life since I was a kid. So I just cannot wait to become an eyeless dolphin by the end of the video. Although there is a last level in which you become a being of pure light energy. But that isn't as cool as the eyeless dolphin. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do is go go through all of these genres one by one and look them up in the trustworthy website Rate Your Music. And I am choosing this one because I know some of these genres might not have a Wikipedia article, for example. I might not be able to get as much information from other websites than I would from Rate Your Music. It's also a website that I think I can trust because people who usually get on that website and vote in genres, the genres are based on votes, and I think these people know their way around music genres. They wouldn't vote on it just as a joke, so I think it's a good idea that I use it. Oh, hello, Husky. Yes, IDM, right? And listen, Husky, this is very interesting because I've seen other music icebergs before, but maybe they are more fair. But the point is, I see all of the genres in this music iceberg I'm talking about, and they aren't very, they aren't very innovative. I don't know how to say it, but most of the genres aren't really very underground. Even the lowest levels of the iceberg aren't usually very underground. They are simply, I don't know. I've seen in the last levels of some other iceberg pictures. I've seen free jazz in the lowest level. I agree, free jazz can be very abstract and not very accessible, but I know there has to be some more fucked up genres out there. So that's why I chose this particular picture, because although it seems very disorganized, like it doesn't really make sense based on the level. For example, I have Gothic Rock in this level, which to me isn't very underground. At least it isn't more underground than hard rock or ska. People listen to Gothic Rock all the time. I know hundreds of people that listen to The Cure, for example, and post-punk. I think it was also on those levels. So I am not going to be I'm not gonna be using this picture as a measure for how underground all of these genres really are. No, I am just using it to get to know new genres in case I don't know them. I think it's a very good way to get to know new music. I think I am in need of new music right now, and I just hope that I can get some interesting things. Another thing that I'm gonna do, okay, so I'm gonna go through each one of the genres in Rate Your Music, and I'm gonna go and listen to parts of the best rated album from that genre in Rate Your Music. That way I think I can get a very good idea about this particular genre. I don't think I will be sharing the audio of the full album with you because otherwise the video would be taken down. It's happened before. It happened a few weeks ago with one of my drum react videos, and I don't want that. I don't care if they demonetize it, but sometimes they block it, and that's what I don't want. So I might play just some parts of the songs for you, but if you really wanna listen to them yourself, I think you're probably gonna have to look them up. All right. Yeah, best rated porno grind album, and I know that one. I mean I know that genre, and I I listened to lots of porno grind and gore grind music when I was in middle school because I was just getting into extreme metal and other very heavy forms of music, and I couldn't find anything heavier than porno grind or gore grind. So if they are anywhere on this iceberg, I think I'm probably gonna skip it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just gonna go through the ones I have no clue about, or I am not very knowledgeable about. And hi, Steve Wilson. Steve Wilson, like one of my favorite musicians. I wonder what my movie video. What's that one? I mean, I used to make some videos on movies before, but I would like to know what you're talking about. And Obi Wannabe. In case you missed it, I'm reviewing all of the music genres in this iceberg meme. I'm taking a listen to some of the best rated albums. I don't know if you if you heard me at the beginning, but I'm saying it again anyway. And I'm gonna rate it on a scale of yeah man or nah man. That's it. No 1 to 10 or anything. It's a pass or not a pass. And 3J, probably going through the genres in the different levels. Young Obai, yes. Okay, yeah, that's exactly it. That's what I'm gonna do. So let's start with this. Just give me a second. Uh, I think I should mute. Yes, because the audio from the desktop was on, and I don't want that. Okay, let me see. It says I'm gonna translate for anyone who doesn't know Spanish. It says sorry about Spanish, but I don't think listening to the top album from each genre is a good idea. A concrete example would be we know that Loveless doesn't give a good idea about what shoegaze is because it's got a lot of noise pop included. It's not only shoegaze, but it's also some noise pop. And you might be right, Nini. You might be right. So, well, when a genre is extremely unknown to me, there is no way I can know. There is no way for me to know if it's the pure genre or if it's got other influences. It probably does. But the advantage of Rate Your Music as a source for genres is that it's not only about one genre, but because it's based on votes, the most voted genre for a particular album is the top one. But then you might have some others. And well, I think that way I can be informed whether or not an album has been influenced by other types of music. I'm not really sure. But something that you can do with me too is that when you see the list, maybe you can help me decide. Maybe you are very knowledgeable about these genres, and you can tell me, hey, I advise you to listen to this one, and I will, and you will see me reacting to it. Maybe you will not listen to it, but you will see me reacting to it, and I might play some bits for you. But that's an interesting thought, Nini. But I do think Loveless is a very good example of shoegaze, by the way. I know it's more than that, but usually when people ask me what shoegaze is, I say listen to Loveless, or the classics. Listen to Loveless or Souvlaki, some Ride, and I don't think there's such a thing as pure sheer shoegaze, anyways. But I do think it's a good example. Okay, so let's start with the iceberg now. So the first genre in this meme, because this is just that's a fucking meme, don't take it so seriously, is Electro Swing. You know what? Electro Swing has kind of become a meme itself in the jazz community. I'm not really sure why. I think it's because there are many, purists in the jazz community that think any modern sort of jazz music is automatically bad. I don't think so. and I think I have probably heard Electro Swing before, but it doesn't really ring a bell. I would not be able to point it out if I listened to it. So I think it's a good idea. I think you're looking at radio music now, right? Let me know. I think you should be looking at the tab. So I think it's a good idea to take a look. You can look for genres here. See what exactly this is. Oh, it's Electro Swing. Okay, here we go. It says Electro Swing is an upbeat fucking hell. Electro Swing is an upbeat, energetic style that splices swing with electronic dance music. Yeah, I don't think I've heard it before, at least not from the definition, and it's sort of become a meme. I'm wondering if this is kind of the sort of shit Domi and what's the other guy, JD Beck, the kind of shit they do. Not sure, but it does kind of sound like that. Well, okay, looking to recapture the atmosphere of the late 1920s to mid 1940s jazz with a more updated club-friendly medium. Okay, that's interesting. Producers use insistent brass samples, often one playful long repeated hook performed on trumpet, clarinet or saxophone overlaid with steady pulsing beats, usually 4/4 house music, as well as utilizing hip-hop samples and techniques. Okay, well, that seems... It's also called electronic... Oh, no. I thought it was another name for it. Okay, so what I can do now is see the top releases. Let's see. Okay, so the top release for Electro Swing is called Swing Swing by Nicholas Repack. It's a combination of electro swing, new jazz, and acid jazz. Oh, and the second one is by Parov Stellar. I've heard this musician before, Parov Stellar, but I never associated it with electro swing, and this is not the album that I heard anyway. Well, it seems like Swing Swing is a good option. Let's take a listen. Now you should be able to see YouTube, I think. What's it called again? Swing Swing, Nicholas Repack. No, it's a full time. It's a full time, yes. Hobby. What? Did I even look for it? No, right? I didn't even let me do it. Swing Swing by I forgot the name again. Nicholas Repack. Not very popular, it seems. But here we go. 7 years ago. This is a 2004 album. Ah, shit. Okay, let's take a look. Yep. Well, it's got some dislikes in there. More than 10%. It just sounds like regular swing. Listen to this. You know, I guess it's the extensive use of sampling shit. And obviously the production is a lot different than what you would hear in 1920s or 1930s recordings. Oh yes, Obi, I didn't include sound because I don't want this video to be blocked, but I'm just gonna be playing some snippets. It's fun, I guess, but I think I would just listen to traditional swing. I like the scatting, but you know, this seems like a very effortless, a very effortless attempt of creating something new. I'm not saying that I don't appreciate the use of samples in music. I really do. I use them all the time. But I don't know. It seems like they just took random samples of swing music. Like you could just take any piece and put them together in a very similar way to what it probably is originally. Hello, Elijah. I don't know. I apologize if it is a bit laggy. I am trying a new camera with a full HD resolution this time, very different from what I used to do before. So I'm guessing that's probably the reason. We Latinos don't have very good internet. That's a fact, and there's nothing we can do about it. Anyways, I just listened to Electro Swing. It was okay. Definitely not my cup of tea. It's not something that interests me too much. Again, I would probably just listen to traditional swing or, you know, the usual hip hop beats, lo fi hip hop, which is probably what they're trying to combine, like hip hop and dance music. I don't know. I don't think I would give it a nah man, nor a yeah man. Hmm. I would say meh man. I think that's the third category. I just created it. Meh man. It's not too bad, not too good, but I guess it gets the pass. Alright, let's take a look at another genre now. Pop rock. I think it's not necessary to look this up. Pop rock. I think most of us know what this is about. I have to admit I don't listen to this very often. It's not a type of music that I find too interesting usually. But I guess I do like some of them. I'm not sure if they qualify as pop rock, rock pop. I don't know the order. It was pop rock. I like Kelly Clarkson, Vanessa Carlton, and there are some bands in Spanish that I think we have been force fed as Mexicans that could classify as pop rock. It's not really my thing. I don't think I am. I don't think I have heard enough pop rock to have a full commentary about it. But from what I've heard, I would give it a nah man. Usually it's not my thing. So one meh man and one nah man. Let's take a look. And I don't know, Obi. I don't think I've heard. I don't think I've heard future bass before. I think we should go to that right now. Future bass. Let's take a look right now. So let's take a look in genres again. Future bass. I think some of these genres might be made up, so it will be no surprise if I don't find any of these any time. But apparently this is a real thing. Okay, it says future bass is a broad subgenre of electronic dance music that emerged in the early to mid 2010s, taking influences from various styles of wonky, trap, a handful of post-dubstep trends, and to a certain extent purple sound. I haven't heard any of those projects. Future bass is generally characterized by woozy, detuned synths, mostly sawtooth and square waves. Well, that's very interesting vocabulary, very produced, inclined vocabulary. I don't know if you went with your typical music listener and say, "Hey, my music has mostly sawtooth and square waves." Fucking hell. Shit. Well, it seems to be a very niche genre. but that makes me more interested. So let's take a look at the best rated albums from this genre. So give me a second. The best rated album from this genre is it's in Korean. It's Max and Match Luna Odd Eye Circle. This is future bass, dance pop, and K-pop. As I think you, Obi, mentioned, it is possible that this album doesn't reflect what future bass really is, which concerns me. But I think we can give it a try. If not, let's take a look at other releases. I Know What I'm Doing by Chuck Stutton. I like that it has the I don't know how to call this thing in English, but anyways, they have this thing, meaning there's probably a note for it. I know what I'm doing, but really I'm not. I don't know. By Chuck Sutton. This is future bass. That's the most voted. And most of the other albums are also combinations of different genres. Look at this one. Kawaii future bass. See, this is why I told you that I trust radio music. I think we're gonna find all of these genres in the website. If not only they have future bass, but they also have kawaii future bass. I think it's very trustworthy. Anyways, I think we can take a look at the first one. This has already got a YouTube link. Let's take a look. Oh, it's the full album, I think. Maybe it's an EP. It's only 25 minutes. Yeah, it's the full album. I think maybe instead of... I know it's a bit unfair, but maybe instead of listening to a whole song, maybe only if I'm very interested. I'm just gonna skim through the album. It's truly a shame, but I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm not gonna get any copyright messages if I do that. So let's do this really quick. Oh, that was it? Alright. It's only the intro then. Sounds like K-pop. Oh, they are the detuned synths. I don't know. It's not my thing either. Not really. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. I think it's okay, Nini. I think it's okay if, I don't know, if you just want to have fun at a party. I'm not the kind of people to have fun at parties, honestly, but I do like dancing in pump it up machines. That's one of my pleasures. So if I found what was this a future based tune in one of those pump it up machines, I'd go crazy with it. I'd play it in level 20 or something like that, even if I won't make it. But yeah, it's cool. It's light-hearted. I don't hate it. At least not this particular album. So I think this gets a meh, man. Again, not really my kind of thing. I'm just waiting for the real dance shit, if you know what I'm saying. I'm just waiting for the ear-bleeding type of music that you would expect from this kind of pictures. But then again, we're only at the first level. It's been interesting so far. Okay, let's continue. So, okay, so we've been through Electro Swing, Pop Rock, Future Bass. Video game OST. I hate this, man. I don't I don't think video game OST should be a genre. It's so weird. I feel like these people who they actually say that they listen to video game OST as if it were a genre. I think it's the kind of people that, I don't know, they probably only listen to, what do you think? Like these RPG type of games like Persona, especially since Persona 5 has become kind of popular. It's also kind of become a popular meme in the jazz community, because some people who aren't very used to jazz music or that don't listen to jazz music very often, they say every time they listen to something which is evidently jazz, they say, hey, this gives me Persona vibes. It's like, well, it's jazz vibes, I guess, but I get it. I think it's cool that some genres have become popular due to video games. I think that's wonderful. I remember when Cuphead was the thing back in the day, there was all sorts of people talking about how jazzy and cool the music was, and I'm like, yeah, man, of course, it's awesome. And I know it's the same for many other video games. I think I play as I spend the same amount of time playing video games as I do listening to music or playing music. And well, what's better than listening to good music as you play a video game? And shit, I haven't yet played. Where do I go to keep up to date with the hottest memes in the jazz community? Well, Lorca Loca. You know, the reason why I became a meme in the first place, the reason why the 7-Eleven video got so popular, was because I shared it in a Facebook group. In a Facebook group called The Shit Posting of Jazz to Come, which is a play on words on the Ornette Coleman album, The Shape of Jazz to Come. And well, I had been in that group for quite a while, and I remember I said I should post this video in this website, in this Facebook page, I mean. And they loved it. And they made it viral, and even guitarists were aware of that video, and I think that's pretty cool. I think even this Ultimate Guitar magazine posted my 7-Eleven video. They made it that big, the people in this Facebook group. And I think if you wanna if you wanna keep up with the hottest jazz memes, you should look up for that Facebook page, The Shit Posting of Jazz to Come. They're probably gonna, I don't remember actually if they ask you a questionnaire at the beginning, but you should just say, hey, Alex sent me. I'm kidding. They're really cool people. Just, just keep it shit posty enough. Hello, Pragya. All right. So, as I was saying, I don't think video game OSTs should be considered a genre, because they could be any genre. I know most of them are ambient music. At least that's the way I see it. Maybe, I don't know, a horror video game probably has got dark ambient type of music. But as I said, it can be extremely versatile, and I don't see why it should be a genre. By the way, one of my favorite video game OSTs is Silent Hill 2. It's also one of my favorite video games of all time. But the music from Silent Hill 2, I don't think it can be matched by any other video game OST. It fits the game so well, and by itself the music is also so beautiful. I listen to it all the time. It's been very influential for my understanding of songwriting and atmosphere, and creating an atmosphere with music. I just love it. I also love the Metal Slug series. I don't know, it's so fucking jazzy too. I think I started listening to jazz fusion because of Metal Slug 2. You know, there's this mission on the train, and you get this really cool song. I think it's called Living on the Deck. It's amazing. But then again, this is not really a genre. I wouldn't call it so I can skip it. It usually gets a yeah man, because most of the times these composers work really hard to make the music fit the video game. So it's usually a yeah man. I think yeah. Is prog rock on the chart? I get probably. I think it is. And math rock in the iceberg somewhere. I think it is too. I think it probably is. I haven't been through all of it. Look, it gets more dense. It gets more dense near the end. Here's a bit empty, so we might go a bit quicker into these ones. Okay, so the next genre is pop reggae. You won't believe me. Shit, you won't believe me. I have to admit, you know, when I say I listen to all types of music, I usually mean it. I do mean it. I consider myself to be a very open-minded person regarding music genres. I don't think it's about the genre. I think it's more about the musicianship. I think you can make wonderful music in any genre. I think genres shouldn't matter when you're talking about music. I don't think so. I think they're only useful if I don't know, if you listen to an album and you really like it, and you look for the genre and you look for more similar types of music, you want to get more into it. So that's great. But yeah, you know, there are some types of music that I don't enjoy at all, or at least I haven't heard anything that can convince me about the quality of this type of music. So, well, shit, I have to admit, reggae is one of those fucking genres. I really fucking hate reggae. I just hate all of this good vibe type of thing. You know, just like fucking, I don't know, this very famous stupid song like "Don't Worry, Be Happy" and "Smoking Pot," and I don't know, man. This kind of shit is not my thing at all. And maybe I can change my mind, but you know, I don't like reggae. Just reggae as the sheer genre. I don't. So I cannot imagine what pop reggae is. I think it has to be a probably more watered down version of the genre, which probably makes it even worse. It's probably like the equivalent of smooth jazz to reggae. I don't know, but I should look it up anyway. Because I am a man of commitment. Alright. I do love math rock too. And I also can't wait until we get to harsh noise Rubio. I also can't wait. Dungeon Synth. Dungeon Synth. That kind of rings a bell, isn't it? Like, I think the only time I've ever heard of Dungeon Synth is like these very ambient based Burzum albums. Like the ones Bug made in between, you know, in between his most classic black metal albums and the latest black metal albums. I think he made some very interesting ambient shit. I don't know if that counts as Dungeon Synth, where it was this very long fucking pieces, like 20 minutes of looping synths, which were supposed to create a very ominous atmosphere. Yeah, it's black metal musicians making synth music. I just knew that was the thing. And I think the only time I have heard about it is because of Burzum. Not really my thing, because even one of the best black metal albums, which is actually, I think, is the album called Dunkelheit? Well, you know, this album by Burzum with the girl and the horn, that fucking album, it's really good. But there is this very long piece at the end, which I think classifies as Dungeon Synth. It's my least favorite, and I don't know why so many musicians choose to. Philosophem. Dunkelheit is the fucking song in the album. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yes, and there's this very long piece at the end, which I think also classifies as Dungeon Synth. I don't know why they choose to make the worst song on the album also the longest. It's a dick move, honestly. And yes, Lorca, no bad genres. It's just a flavor, as Pragya said. Alright, and Extra Tone Gang. I don't know what Extra Tone is. That's gonna be a new thing for me. No Wave. Well, I think I probably heard something of No Wave, but I can't point it out. I know what New Wave is. I like New Wave. But anyways, so let's get deeper into fucking pop reggae. This is gonna be fucking painful. Oh, I forgot to choose the genre tag, pop reggae. Oh no, so okay, pop reggae is a light commercial. No, that's a bad start. Fuck. Pop reggae is a light commercial form of reggae, designed to cross over and break through to a more mainstream pop audience. So yeah, fucking watered down reggae. as if it could be more watered down. The style builds on the general template developed from the ska. No! That's my second most hated genre, ska, fuck. Rocksteady and reggae lineage, whilst accentuating the more melodic aspects and adding influences from soul, okay, and later contemporary R&B. Pop reggae recordings use a slick production style and often feature lush string arrangements and catchy piano parts. So catchy. So let's take a look at the best rated albums. So the best rated album is called Jimmy Cliff by Jimmy Cliff, and it's you know, it's an oldie. It's from 1969, a great year for music. So my hopes are kind of up now. Mr. Bungle does it quite well. What do you mean? What do you mean, man? Mr. Bungle is one of my favorite bands in the world, if not my favorite band. I've always just seen Mr. Bungle as as an avant-garde band. Nothing more than that. And yes, King Crimson. 1969 was good. You know what I'm talking about, of course. Ska sounds fun from what I've heard. I guess, Obi, it's fun, but it's also very I don't know. I find it pretentious. I think that's the word. I find it pretentious. All of this political charge into ska and some other genres as well. I just don't like it. I cannot connect with it. Lots of ska in Mr. Bungle. I guess so. I mean, I've listened to all of Mr. Bungle's discography. But I mean, there's some of everything. There's lots of everything in Mr. Bungle's discography. Yeah, of course. I mean, yes, you're right. In the first album, right? In the first album, the Clown album, as they call it. You're right, Calderon. There's this very cool piece. I like it. It's called Egg. And there's this very ska part that I think it's in 7. It's really cool, and I love that song and I love that album. But I think the only good way to make ska probably is you spice it up with some avant-garde jazz, as Mr. Bungle did in that album. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm talking out of ignorance, maybe I should listen to more ska, but it kind of grinds my gears. Anyway, so let's take a look. So let's listen to Jimmy Cliff. I think I have high hopes for this because it's a 1969 album. This one, Acústico no Rio de Janeiro. I don't know Portuguese, but it's just pop reggae and it's a live album. So maybe this will give me a better idea. But it hasn't even got like a YouTube nor Spotify link, nothing. But it's got a 4.06. That's a really high rating for Rate Your Music. But see, this is why this is trustworthy, because it's not only the number, it's also balanced with the amount of ratings. I'm just gonna listen to fucking Jimmy Cliff just for a few seconds. Jimmy Cliff album, I guess. I think I'll find it quick like this. Oh no. Well, I wanna stick to YouTube for this, but maybe I will have to find it somewhere else. Oh no, here we go. Time will tell. Let's take a quick look. Oh, the bass playing is really good. This is actually not so bad. I expected something more generic. I don't know. Maybe again this is why this album is a bit different, because it's from 1969. 69 I meant. Oh, and I hadn't seen this commentary. Rubio says, I hope we get deep enough where it includes the music that includes samples of people literally screaming in agony. Yeah, I've heard stuff like that. I guess it classifies as harsh noise, some of them. There's this project, band, whatever. It's called Stalag or Stalach or whatever. And they are just literally ambient noise with people screaming in the background. It's got a very interesting history, probably just a creepypasta, but supposedly they actually recorded people screaming in a mental hospital. Not sure if it's true, but that makes up a good story. And the music is really creepy. It's probably one of the heaviest, scariest pieces of music I have ever heard. I don't know, I wouldn't call harsh noise music. At least I don't see it as music, and I am very open about it, but you know, it's just texture. I don't know, I would have to think about that. Sheet rock is sick and blue collar pop. Garage down tempo as well. Well, I would have to get into that because I don't know those genres either. Well, let's listen to some more Jamie Cliff. Let's see what this is. Oh yeah. I could get into this, but I'd probably need to be in a very specific mood. It's probably something that I would listen to one time and then leave it alone for a few months. And then I don't know, I'd be lying on the fucking beach, nothing to do. I would just play it. I don't know. It seems like I would need a very specific mood to play this again. Who listens to Stalag for fun? I do. What genre is Everywhere at the End of Time? You know, another meme album that has been very, very, very popular recently, and I haven't heard it because it's so fucking long. But from what I've skimmed of that album, I am not sure. I am not sure if I would classify that album as dark ambient, because I think it uses a very extensive range of samples, and they are just very distorted. Not sure, man. Not sure how I would classify that one. But I agree that it is a bit unsettling, and that is not something that I would play. I don't know, on my way home on the bus or something like that. I would need to be again in a very specific mood. That's the thing with some genres. You really need to be in the mood with the patience to listen to them. Okay, well, at least surprisingly, from what I've heard about Jimmy Cliff, I would give Pop Reggae a yeah, man. This is pretty cool. I don't know, I didn't expect it, but this is very chill. So, and the musicianship, at least from what I heard from these snippets, is also quite interesting. Not bad at all. Well, maybe there is another album that better represents what Pop Reggae is. So maybe it's not fair. Maybe it really is a nah man, as I was expecting. But at least Jimmy Cliff is really cool. All right, let's go for another genre, country. Well, I mean, I haven't listened to much country, and what I've heard is good enough for me to enjoy it. I've listened to some Johnny Cash. I think it's really cool. I think it's really fun. This live album by him at the something prison. I don't remember the name of the prison, but it was actually performed live in a prison. It's pretty cool. You actually feel the excitement of all of these people listening. It's a really cool album. But then there are some other albums which I didn't enjoy at all. There's this one by this band called The Birds. I think The Birds with a Y. I don't know if it's the Brits. I think it's The Birds. But the cover is like this cowgirl lady with a lot of shit around them. Yes, it's Folsom Prison. That's the one I was looking for. Thank you, King Crimson. And well, this album by the Birds, I just couldn't enjoy it at all because I found it really fucking pretentious too. I hate pretentious music, and there's this there's this song on that album that I found to be laughably bad, which you can probably guess what I'm talking about now. It's called The Christian Life. I think we're gonna get there eventually, but fucking Christian music, in Christian everything is usually so bad. Christian music and Christian movies and Christian books and Christian stuff is just so bad. It's like they want to rely on this spiritual themes to try to hide the really bad quality of their product. It's terrible. So I don't think I have to listen to country again. I know what it is. I've heard some of it, and I do enjoy some of it, but mostly it gets an amen. I think it's just not my thing. It is, yeah, Sweetheart of the Rodeo. That is the one. That is the one. Sweetheart of the Rodeo. The band Believer. That's a country band. Salvador. Yeah, country. I agree, Ruby. It can be really good and really fun, or it can be absolute rubbish. So I will I will give it a naman because most of what I've heard really isn't very good, or at least I cannot connect with it. I don't know. All of these people talking about, I don't want to say it, but talking about my girl and my truck and my beer and Texas. Oh, I think I think the best country songs I've ever heard are probably on the GTA San Andreas K Rose radio station. Yeah, hey, the songs on that radio station are pretty cool, and I think I think that's what got me into the first place to listen to more country music. There's this one song that I really like. It's like, all my exes live in Texas. It's so fun. I mean, it's very light-hearted. It's unpretentious, which I enjoy. It's alright. But anyways, I won't get deeper into country. I think I think it suffices to say I don't like it very much. I hold nothing against it, but I just cannot connect with it. It's not my thing. Alright. There's another genre now. Synth Wave. I think I will have to get deeper into that. At least I'm probably gonna have to look it up. I mean, synthwave just sounds like a combination of new wave and synth pop. I am guessing if probably, I don't know, if probably Depeche Mode are synthwave or could be considered synthwave, or the Human League. That's probably just synth pop. I don't know. I am not sure what synthwave is, so I'm just gonna look it up. And oh, okay, it's a Christian prog thrash band. Christian prog thrash band. See, this is something that I find interesting. I mean, I know that Christian doesn't need to mean bad. It doesn't always mean bad because it could be anything, right? You could make, I don't know, you could make jazz core Christian music, and it would still kick ass, and it would still be very, very adventurous. But I have to admit that most of the Christian music I've heard is very cookie cutter. It's, like pop or rock ballads, very generic. It's probably another one of my most hated genres, like contemporary Christian music, which all sounds the same. But you're right, Salvador. It could be good. Usually isn't, but it could be. So let's look this up. Synthwave. I'm probably right. Right, synth pop and new wave. Sorry, it was, yeah, synthwave. I'm right. Synthwave. Okay, so it says synthwave is a form of electronic music that takes most of its inspiration from synth music. What the hell is that? Could be anything. And pop culture from the 1980s. Musically, synthwave is often instrumental and has a futuristic theme, with large, throbbing retro synths. House-influenced heavy drums are also very popular. It draws inspiration from a variety of genres that originated and/or was most popular during the 1980s, including but not limited to synth pop, progressive electronic, Italo disco, electro disco, and yada yada. Well, I am intrigued that they didn't mention new wave. I thought that's what the wave meant in the name. So let's see what we got. Okay, so we got, we have the soundtrack of a video game actually. In the first place, it's from a video game, I guess, called VA11 Hala, which should be read as Valhalla, maybe. Second round, and it was done by Garode. It's video game music, my favorite genre, and synthwave. I think it could be good. I've heard this one. I've heard the Drive OST several times. It's pretty cool. Maybe that is synthwave after all. And there's another soundtrack. It seems like this genre is very popular for soundtracks. This is Fury. What is this? Video game music again. And this is a film score. So yeah, it seems to be a very popular genre for music for video game and movie soundtracks. Well, maybe I could look this up. Maybe I could look Valhalla second round. Let's take a look. Full album. I'm gonna go through it real quick. I don't want any shit. Oh, that's a lot of pieces. I hope most of the album really is synthwave. But anyways, I'm just gonna skim through it real quick. I don't want any copyright calls from this video. I don't want it blocked, most of all. Let's see. I have the idea. Yeah. Oh, this one is a banger. Well, it seems pretty fun. Let me just. Seems pretty fun. But probably, most definitely, it's not something I would listen to very often. I think it does fit really well, maybe in a video game or in a movie. But I would probably need to sit down and enjoy the whole hour and a half experience to say my real opinion. But from what I've heard, it's not really my thing either. Yeah, very synthwave. If you give me, if you guarantee, Rubio, that this is a very good representation of synthwave, I might listen to it later. It's quite long. Suicide was on the top of that chart. What is Suicide? An album, or is it the name of a project? Nini. Well, I think we can listen to a bit more. Swingy. Well, I could, but I'd rather listen to it while I play than listen to it independently. I don't know. Not really my thing. So I would give it a meh, man, because it does fit well with some atmospheres, I guess, with this futuristic atmosphere. I think it does, but in and of itself, I don't think it holds. Sorry. I am very I am very salty about some genres. Not that I can listen to it again, it's not the genre, it's the musicianship. But obviously I have my predilections. Is that a word in English? Predilections. I mean, I have my favorite things, that's what I meant. Okay, so another genre, metalcore. Uh, I used to listen to a lot of metalcore when I was in middle school. You can guess that. I was very much into deathcore and metalcore together. And I think it's one of those few genres that I grew up off. You know what I mean, right? I grew up out of the genre. The older I got, the more cheesy it sounded to me. And I'm not saying that there aren't some very kick-ass metalcore bands. Actually, some of my favorite bands ever are metalcore. You could say, I mean, Converge, the band Converge, I think they are a metalcore band. Of course, they have hardcore punk. They are more inclined to the mathcore area, but they are still metalcore, and I think they are very enjoyable. And well, there are some others too. Not that I can remember any of them that stand out as exceptional right now. But I would give metalcore a meh man. It's cool sometimes. It can be really cool. But I definitely prefer some fusions of metalcore, like mathcore. Yes, it kicks ass. Some of my favorite bands ever are mathcore bands, like the Dillinger Escape Plan. You could say they are metalcore too, with a spice of jazz, with a spice of, I don't know, experimental, contemporary classical music, whatever. But yes, I mean, most of the times metalcore just doesn't fulfill my expectations. So I would give metalcore a meh man. But I'm just curious anyway. What is the best rated metalcore album in this platform? And I wonder if I've listened to it. Yes, I know what metalcore is. Let's see. Well, I haven't heard. Oh, I have actually. Of course, I was thinking, what Colors Live? No, the album Colors by Between the Period and Me. I mean, I've heard the studio album, which is really fucking great. I wouldn't say it's metalcore yet again. To me, they are progressive metal. Not that it matters much. Yeah, progressive metalcore, as it says here. Yeah, I guess so. But I haven't heard the live album. I even have the original album, but I haven't dug any deeper into this. And well, the second best rated metalcore album is Jane Doe by Converge. Again, one of the best metalcore bands I've ever heard. It's great. And yes, it is also classified as mathcore. Jesus, Bring Me the Horizon. I have my reserves about Bring Me the Horizon. But this is live at the Royal Albert Hall. Dance, anthemic, orchestral. I don't know if I want to listen to that, but I am very surprised that it's got such a high rating. Live Infinity by the Dillinger Escape Plan. Again, another one of my favorite bands. Another one by Converge. Jane Live. All We Love We Leave Behind by Converge. See, that's what I meant. Fucking Converge are probably the only true metalcore band that is actually exceptional. No joke, I mean, look at that. It takes more than half of the top 10. It's really cool. Yeah, I haven't listened to anything by Ion Dissonance, but I've heard of them, and I think I should get into their music soon. Well, I think I should get into Colors Live, because I mean, I really love the studio album, and I guess that the live performance has to be really great too. Okay, let's continue. Chiptune. I know what chiptune is. As far as I know, chiptune is music made with 8-bit and 16-bit samples and it's supposed to emulate the sounds made by early game consoles such as the Atari or the Nintendo Entertainment System. That's what I think chiptune is. Which again, it's interesting because I wouldn't consider it to be a genre. I think you could have a piece of music that uses this style of production and at the same time belongs to any genre. But I don't know, I don't think I've heard a full chiptune album ever. I've heard albums with chiptune influences, I guess. For example, this Crystal Castle's debut, the first album they released. I think the guy actually reverse engineered some of the Atari sounds and he included them into the music, and you can tell because it is very it is very 8-bitty. It's okay, but again, I wouldn't consider it a genre. Simply yeah, sorry, I was thinking of something else. But yeah, I mean, chiptune, I wouldn't say it's really a genre. It's more of a style of production. But I do like some very 8-bitty soundtracks. I love the original Castlevania soundtrack. I love the third track. I think it's called Wicked Child. Pretty cool. But I would give chiptune a man because it's not really a genre. I think it isn't. Okay, fuck. Okay, let's go for ska just because I wanna open my mind about it. Okay, Nini, let's do this. Let's see what Radio Music says about ska, and I'm gonna give it a try. Shit, it's definitely a nah man for me, but whatever. Okay. The best rated album is 3 Cheers for Disappointment by the Arrogant Sons of Bitches. Now that's a fucking cool band name, the Arrogant Sons of Bitches. It's considered to be a ska punk album. I think this is one genre, yes, a ska punk. And I've heard some of it. I heard this album by Rancid. It has something about wolves in the title. Wolves something. And there's like this sad punk in some staircase in the cover. I love punk music, but whenever it is combined with ska, I just can't, man. I just can't. And this seems to be it. Ska punk, hardcore punk, skate punk, and pop punk. Okay, and well, I think it's better if I take your recommendation, man, because I don't think I'm gonna find anything worth it in here. Ah, la maldita vecindad y los hijos del quinto patio. I knew it was gonna be somewhere in here. Very famous band here in Mexico. Okay. I'm gonna listen to you then. One Step Beyond by Madness. One Step Beyond Madness. That's a song, or is it a full album? I'm just gonna listen to the song. I wanna actually take the time, so I'm gonna mute the song. I'll tell you what I think, and I might play some parts of it, but I wanna actually take the time. It starts with this, boom, 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 boom. What's going on, man? Okay. Give me a second, Ozuna. I am doing that. I am doing that eventually. I'm just... Wait. Aren't you seeing... Okay, I'm gonna leave it on. But it's just that I go through the genres one by one, and then I change tabs so that you can see the albums and the songs I'm looking for. But I think I left it on now, right? Yeah, yeah, Nini. I'm listening to this song, One Step Beyond. I think I've heard it before, actually. It's okay, Osuna. I love you all, don't worry. This is hell, man. Nini, this is hell. And it's got the fucking... Is it? The fucking alto sax, no. No. It seems to be a very classic type of ska. But that's exactly the type of ska I hate. It's so cheesy. And so repetitive. And then again, one step beyond. No, I can't take it. I think I'm just gonna quit it now. It's not my thing, honestly. Sorry, you're gonna have to try a bit harder to convince me that ska is a legit genre. It just doesn't do it for me. It would need to be combined, as I said before, with probably other influences that I like a lot more, or I think are more interesting, like Mr. Punkle did in their debut. They are combining ska with some avant-garde jazz, with some very heavy hardcore punk. That might be alright. And that might be alright, but still, it usually doesn't do it. That kind of beat with the alto sax now, man, it's cheesy to me. It's like, what can I say? I don't know. It's just not my thing. I am very, very sorry. Satisfied. Well, shit. No, not really my thing. I'm just gonna go ahead. Hard rock. Hard rock. I said, oh, and okay, ska gets a definitely nah, man. A definite nah, man. It's not my thing. Nah. Sorry, it's terrible. Hard rock. I'm guessing by hard rock they mean stuff like AC/DC or Guns N' Roses. Also not my thing. Most of that, classic hard rock type of music, it just doesn't get me at all. I find it, especially like the hard rock ballads, like November Rain. I find them very cheesy too. They don't say anything to me. I find them very predictable, and I know that it's probably, yeah, Led Zeppelin. I love Led Zeppelin. I haven't heard much of Deep Purple or Kansas. Nickelback. Yeah, I do like Queen, but I also haven't heard much of them. I just, this type of very operatic type of rock doesn't really call my attention because I don't like theater at all, and I don't like musical music at all. Sometimes I wonder if the songs that they usually sing at musicals, at musical theater, if that could be considered a genre, because I just cannot seem to like any of it. I really can't. Every time I see a musical, I think the worst part of it's the music. I think it's probably because I don't appreciate singers too much. At least not when they do this type of generic musical core stuff. But anyways, maybe that's the reason why I didn't get so much into Queen before, because they sound very theatrical to me, and I don't like that type of music too much. But hard rock, there is some of them I do like. El rock es cultura. Yeah, that's, inevitably I associate hard rock with, dad rock, like boomer types of rock. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. I know some boomers actually do like some pretty cool music, but most of it I don't like it. And because I associate hard rock mostly with AC/DC, I just keep away from it, because AC/DC is one of those bands that you can hear one of their songs and you've already listened to their whole discography. It's like these guys got rich by recycling the same fucking song over and over again. And sometimes I think the same of other hard rock bands. Not Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin are really good. That's probably my favorite hard rock band. And I do understand that hard rock probably had a... not probably, it definitely had an important role in the development of rock music and in the development of heavy metal music, obviously. And that's why I appreciate it so much. But it's not something that I listen to very often. Kind of sounds outdated to me. I think if you're playing that type of hard rock right now, you're probably stuck in the past. You probably need to listen to more music. I don't know. It just sounds very, very uninteresting to me. But I would give it a meh, man. It's okay. It's just not my thing. Meh, man. Now we have fucking Christian rock. Fucking Christian rock as a genre. Shit. Well, it's probably my most hated genre, Christian music, if it could be considered a genre, which I don't think it is. But you know, now I'm morbidly curious. Now I want to know what the fuck is the best rated album in the Christian rock category. I am afraid. What the fuck? The Texas Jerusalem Crossroads? Live to Experience? And look at the genres: post-rock, shoegaze, and Christian rock. See, this is what I meant. Christian rock could be anything. Yeah, you could have you know black metal, right? You know black metal is usually anti-Christian. Well, there is on black metal, also called white metal, which is exactly the same sound as black metal. There is virtually no difference, but the lyrics are Christian. And it's not like you can fucking tell, right? Because they're screaming. But apparently that also can be considered as Christian music. So I don't know. This looks very interesting. I mean, post-rock, shoegaze, Christian rock. And look at the fucking name, the Texas Jerusalem Crossroads, and look at the fucking cover. I have to look this up. Maybe it's gonna change my idea about Christian music. Oh no. What is this? I'm gonna play some parts for you. Oh shit, what did I do? Look. I'm old. No music? Somewhere. Oh. I could listen to this. It's just samples, man. Maybe I should play a different video. Is this something different? Okay, official audio. Even now, dark times have infiltrated. So we ask you. This kind of spoken word post-rock reminds me of Spiderland. You know, very famous album by Slint. I could listen to this. I really could. What a shame the fucking cover, man. Look at this. It's like a fucking joke. It's like a parody. I don't know if I should take them seriously. But the music is cool. Jesus Christ. Well, definitely not my idea of Christian music, but I guess it qualifies. Okay, now I guess I could listen to this, but most Christian music that I have heard It's not even, it's not even like in an album or something like that. Most Christian music that I've heard comes from live performances. Sometimes I have been to like these Christian meetings, especially when I was a teenager or a kid, and it just always sounds the same. Have you seen that South Park episode, Faith Plus One? It just, to me, it sounds so fake and manipulative and generic as that fucking South Park episode. Not my thing. Not my thing, and I obviously don't agree with it. Maybe that's the reason, right? I don't agree with it. I wouldn't say agree. I don't connect with it because I am not a religious person at all. So, to me, it is kind of like that South Park episode. Sounds very manipulative to me. Sounds like I'm listening to a cult leader. Now, I would definitely give Christian rock a nah, man. I really hate the thing. Now, EDM, we know what EDM is, electronic dance music. I really love it. I think people should pay more attention to electronic dance music. And one of my favorite electronic dance music records is The Sign by Ace of Base. I listened to that album when I was a kid. My mom used to play it. She used to blast it on her car. And it's a really great album. Again, The Sign by Ace of Base. And I think it's influenced many other pop artists. For example, I think Lady Gaga in the song, Alejandro? I think she used lots of Ace of Base influences. And well, obviously I do like some more modern approaches to electronic dance music. But I'm more of a man of the 80s and the 90s regarding this genre. I think most pop music today could be considered electronic dance music, but they are also now leaning towards other influences that aren't as pure as what you can hear from the 80s or the 90s. But I would give EDM definitely a yeah, man. I love EDM. Now we have heavy metal. Well, I think heavy metal is probably comprises all of the metal subgenres. I do like metal very much. Some of it is very cringy. A lot of it is very cringy. Some genres I just cannot hear them. They to me sound very I don't want to say generic again, but yeah, fucking hell, yes, generic. That's the word I'm looking for. But yeah, I will give heavy metal a definitely yeah, man. But I am curious now. I want to see what's the heavy metal best voted album, just to see if I've heard it. Yeah, that's what I thought, Rubio. That's probably what it meant. Bands like Black Sabbath or Iron Maiden or Dio, and I do like Black Sabbath very much, but I think you could consider them to be, I don't know, doom metal, stoner rock, and some other shit. Like I think Black Sabbath were a proto many things, proto stoner rock and proto doom metal band, for example. But yep, I do like it very much. I'm just curious to see what the best voted album is. See if I've heard it. Yeah, Paranoid by Black Sabbath. A definite 10 out of 10 for me. It is one of the best heavy metal albums ever. I love it. But I like this, that it's also considered to be traditional doom metal. Traditional, that's very interesting. But yes, I mean, if you consider this album to be heavy metal, of course, it gets a definite yeah, man. And well, the second album is also by Black Sabbath. I don't like it so much, this one. I don't like A Master of Reality as much as some other people seem to enjoy it. But it's also pretty cool. And the third one is another Black Sabbath album, which I do love as well. The debut, actually. Now, Live After Death, a live album by Iron Maiden. I haven't heard it. Unleashed in the East, live in Japan by Judas Priest. I haven't heard it. I do like Judas Priest very much. Power Slave by Iron Maiden. Very good album, one of my favorite heavy metal albums. Painkiller by Judas Priest, probably the best Judas Priest album. I haven't heard No Sleep Till Hammersmith. I haven't heard any Motorhead album, actually, but I think I should do it. And well, we have more Sabbath, more Iron Maiden, Iced Earth. I haven't heard any album by them either. I can't believe it. Live Shit, Binge and Purge by Metallica. Well, I don't like Metallica at all. I have to admit, I don't like them at all. I guess I do like some of their earlier albums. I think Master of Puppets is okay. I think Ride the Lightning is okay too. But most of Metallica's music, I find it infinitely boring. So I don't know. I don't think a live performance could be any better anyway. But yeah, definitely a yeah man. Gotta love some heavy, not so heavy metal. Hi Turkic. Ooh, is that an Opzen by Meshuggah picture you have there? I recognize that. Yeah, Holy Diver is a really great album. Also one of my favorite heavy metal albums. Holy Diver. I expected to see some Aussie, some solo Aussie too, and I didn't see it. All right. Okay, so Yemen, of course, heavy metal Yemen, and that means we've already been through the surface tier. Shit, how long's it been? An hour and 20 minutes. This is gonna take long. This is gonna take long. And I don't think I will stop the stream until I finish this. This is probably gonna be longer than the 7-11 video. 7 hours and 11 minutes. I don't know. But I gotta spend my weekend somehow, right? Saturday night. There isn't any better way to spend it. Alright. Maybe I'm gonna go through some of these genres really quick, because I already know them. That's what I think. Groove metal. I never really understood the gist of groove metal, like what's supposed to differentiate it from other types of metals. To me, it just sounds like a more polished version of thrash metal. Yeah, maybe I could do two, right? Maybe I could do two of them. I don't know. It depends. If I get tired, maybe I will cut it at half. I don't know. Well, let's see how this does. But anyways, I was saying, I never really understood what's so different about groove metal. I mean, I know groove metal is supposed to sound like Pantera, like vulgar display of power type of shit. I know that's the sound of groove metal, but I never really understood what makes it so different. But I think it's cool. I've also heard this. I guess, not sure, but I think this band Cavalera Conspiracy could be considered groove metal. I've heard that band too, and it's cool, but it doesn't really call my attention. Post-thrash, Exorder, Pantera, Lamb of God. Of course I've heard Lamb of God. I forgot about them. Later Decapitated. Well, I think I could give groove metal a yeah man, because I do like some of those bands, but it doesn't convince me. Let's take a quick look at the best rated albums. And let's take a look at the definition here. Groove metal is a genre of metal music that dates back to the late 1980s, with origins primarily focused in the United States and Brazil. Sepultura, I'm guessing? Okay, the music itself is generally comprised of mid-tempo riffs similar to those found in thrash metal. See, to me it sounds very similar, with a tendency to focus more on groovy syncopation and heaviness than outright speed. Yeah, Sepultura, of course. White Zombie. The Brazil thing, I think actually the Cavalera guy is from Sepultura. And the first album here is Cowboys from Hell, the Demos by Pantera. That's interesting. Chaos AD by Sepultura. I should listen to that one. And here's probably, arguably, well, at least from these ones, yes, based on the amount of votes, yeah, it is arguably the most famous groove metal album, Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera. I don't love it. I'm not crazy about it. It's catchy, all of these very simple, fast, energetic songs. I like it, but I'm just not crazy about it. I would give groove metal a meh, man. It's alright. Now the next one here on the list. Oh, groove. You consider early Meshuggah groove metal? Well, I've heard early Meshuggah, and I think you might be right. But I think it'd be unfair to put it at the same level as, say, Pantera, because obviously Meshuggah was doing something much more experimental, avant-garde-ish than most of these bands ever did. I don't know, maybe I need to listen to more groove metal, but most of it sounds very safe to me. Anyways, the next one in this, the next genre in this list is indie rock. Well, I think I'm just gonna put indie rock and indie pop together. I mean, all I want to say about this genre is that it shouldn't really be considered a genre, just like many others in this list, apparently. And I don't think so because, well, apparently indie rock from the beginning only meant independent rock. I'm not sure when it began, but I can think of this Radiohead move when they released In Rainbows, that they released this album independently and you could pay whatever you wanted for it, and it was controversial with record labels. I think that's where the whole indie rock thing started. And I think from then on, any band who sounded relatively similar to Radiohead was considered as indie rock. And to me, indie rock is simply alternative rock with, I don't know, sometimes it's got some surf rock elements, sometimes it's very poppy. And that's why I think indie rock should be like in the same bag. Indie rock and indie pop, sometimes they converge, that's undeniable. But it's just so difficult to me to point out what indie rock really is. Okay, maybe you should explain it to me, Nini, because every time I hear about indie rock, I just think of alternative rock, independent alternative rock. Well, what would you say it is as a genre? I think I should look for it. Okay, it says here actually, in respect to the sound, indie rock is related to earlier alternative rock in that there is often a disregard for traditionally mainstream qualities, with bands expanding upon the core of rock music by using non-standard instrumentation and vocals, unconventional song structures, bass differences in sound on the same record, or whatever else they fancy, from not being limited to needing a radio-friendly appeal. Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's see what the albums are. Oh, I can't believe it, but I think I should have expected it. In the Airplane Over the Sea by Neutral Milk Hotel. Probably the one of the most Metalcore albums ever made. I like it. I think it's charming and fun. I'm not gonna say it's a bad album, but I think it's more of a meme by this point. I'm not saying meme albums can't be good. I think this is a good meme album. But yeah, I mean, to me, it's just I wouldn't say it's indie rock or indie folk. It's just, to me at least, it's just alternative rock and folk music or folk rock music. Singer songwriter, that to me also is kind of a weird genre. Like, if you write and sing your own songs, whatever the genre it is, shouldn't be considered singer songwriter. I think what they mean is a guy with an acoustic guitar. That's usually what it implies. And it says a good example of what indie rock is would be Pavement. I love Pavement. But again, I would consider them to be alternative rock / noise rock sometimes. Indie rock stems from that independence, but it has so many influences like punk, psychedelia, and country. You might be right. But, this is controversial. I just don't think we should call it indie rock. It's just alternative rock, sometimes experimental rock. I wouldn't say, for example, that In the Airplane Over the Sea is indie rock. To me, it's just alternative rock and folk music. I love Do Little by Pixies too. I knew this was gonna be in here too. I loved Little by Pixies too. Again, to me, alternative rock and some noise rock involved. The Glow Part 2 by the Microphones, I just knew this was gonna be in here. One of my favorite albums too. Very, very emotional, very abstract. I love it, but I would call it simply folk slash alternative pop rock stuff. Avant folk, I like that term. Slacker rock, what the fuck? Modest Mouse, The Lumsden Crowded West, I've heard it, pretty good. Arcade Fire Funeral, another one of my favorite alternative rock albums. That's what I would call it. Post-punk revival, I guess that's right. Another one, yeah, I've heard all of these. Interpol, Turn on the Bright Lights, pretty good. The Strokes, Is This It? Not my cup of tea, but I understand its importance in the development of alternative rock in the century, whatever you want to call it, indie rock, alternative rock. I understand it. Surfer Rosa by Pixies. This image is blocked, probably because it's got titties in it, and they won't show it to me. They won't show it to me unless I log in. But it's a pretty good album too. Build to Spill, Perfect From Now On. Another one that I absolutely love. I haven't heard this one, but okay. I mean, look at this. From the top 10, I've heard all but this one. Thanks, Sorry, by Jeff Rosenstock. And as some of you say, I think indie rock can be very adventurous, very interesting musically speaking. So I will give it a pass. Undeniably, I love it. I just wouldn't call it indie rock, and I wouldn't call indie pop, just alternative pop, experimental pop. It's kind of a weird genre to grasp as such to me. Now we have post-punk. What can I say? I love post-punk. I love also all of these different combinations that can stem from post-punk, like, you know, Gothic Rock / post-punk, or noise rock / post-punk. And well, I just give it a pass from now. I mean, I don't even have to think about it, but I'm curious. I want to see what the best post-punk albums are. Let's see. I wonder if I need to include the dash. Yeah, I need to. Or it won't recognize it. Yeah. Sex Pistols. I wouldn't consider the Sex Pistols to be post-punk. One of the best albums ever made. One of the best produced albums ever in history. Remain in Light by Talking Heads. Another one of my absolutely 10 out of 10. But post-punk, I would say only some of the songs are post-punk. New Wave fits a lot better than post-punk. Disintegration by The Cure, another masterpiece, probably the best album by The Cure, along with Pornography. Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures, great album, I love it. Closer by Joy Division is really good too. The name of this band is Talking Heads. I can't believe I heard the whole fucking thing, but I did, and it's pretty good. Stop Making Sense, I haven't seen it. Death Consciousness by Have a Nice Life. I would only half call this a post-punk record, but it's pretty good. I think it's clear here it's more of a shoegaze record. That's what I'd call it. Here's Pornography. Fear of Music, I haven't heard it actually. And here it is again, Turn on the Bright Lights by Interpol. Well, all in all, I think post-punk is one of my favorite genres ever. Definitely a pass. Yeah, man, absolutely. I can't really explain what it is, but I recommend you a Spanish-speaking channel that has spoken about indie rock called Sindelay. He really knows what he talks about when it comes to music. Okay, I'm gonna look that up. I really have to be a bit more informed about indie rock, especially because honestly, to me, it's just always sounded like alternative rock. But I guess I'm missing something. Let's see. Let's continue. Vaporwave. Isn't Vaporwave kind of a meme genre? But at this point, or do people still take Vaporwave seriously? I don't have to look it up. I probably know what the best rated Vaporwave album is. To me, it just sounds like, like this ambient pop chamber music, but it's very slowed down. and it's got like these very heavy synths on top. And you know, this very famous Macintosh Plus album, to me it's a joke. I don't see how Vaporwave can be considered as a serious genre. You don't need to do much to emulate the sound and achieve a very similar feel to what Vaporwave is supposed to be. If you take it as a joke, or if you take it as an aesthetic, that's the Vaporwave's favorite word, I think it's alright. You know, like this retro techno aesthetic, alright. But to me it's just like fucking nightcore, you know, like when they speed up songs and that's supposed to be the whole genre. It's weird. I don't think it is a genre. Doomer music versus Vaporwave? What's Doomer music, man? What is that? Well, anyways, I don't think I have to look Vaporwave up. I just cannot take it seriously, so nah, man. I wouldn't listen to it seriously. K-pop, another one of those genres that I have to probably listen to more music. Because, you know, all I have heard of K-pop is due to other people. Like, they play K-pop, and again, I play these pump it up machines, like these dancing machines, and there's lots of K-pop in there. And I think it's fun, but only one song. I think I've only heard one complete K-pop album by BTS. I think it's called Wings. And, you know, well, it is not a bad album. Really, I don't see what's so different from many other modern pop music in other languages. English, for example. To me, it sounds just the same, but in Korean. And I don't see what's so special about it. It has pretty guys singing and dancing. Yes, it does. Or it has pretty girls singing and dancing. But I'm not much about the, you know, the image of these groups. I'm more about the music. And I remember listening to this album by BTS and thinking, it's so plain and boring. After 2 songs, it all starts sounding the same to me. And I especially dislike all of these, you know, rap sections that they have in between. It's cheesy. I don't like it. I think if I was more into the image of these groups, I'd probably like it more. But I don't even like dancing. I don't even like to see people dancing and choreographies and all of that. So now K-pop gets a nah man from me. It's not my thing, really. Let me see. Obi says, Doomer music is music that is slowed down, down-tuned, and has some effects on top of it, like reverb. I think I know what you mean. That also sounds to me like a meme genre that shouldn't be taken seriously. If it's for the lulz, that's okay, but yeah, it's lazy, definitely. Nini says, I remember started taking it seriously when I got into ambient music and plunderphonics. I love plunderphonics, you know, as a style, as an approach to music making. Wouldn't really consider it a genre. Difficult to say. Okay, I think this is very interesting. Bubblegum Bass, is this on this tier or is it on the next tier? It seems to be just in between. Maybe I should leave it at the end. Anyways, the next genre, I have no idea what this is about. Cloud rap. What the fuck is cloud rap? Does it mean like SoundCloud rap? Like this bedroom produced rap mixes? I have no idea. Maybe Rate Your Music can give us the answer. Let's take a look. Cloud rap. Okay, also known as trill wave. Okay, it says, emerging around the late 2000s and early 2010s, cloud rap is a form of hip-hop characterized by a distinct form of relaxed, ethereal, dreamlike, and reverb-heavy production. I get it. Cloud rap has its origins in late 2000s underground hip-hop scenes, with many of the genre's pioneers taking major influences from Salem's Witch House and the chill wave music of artists like Toro y Moi or Night Jewel. Well, I know what Witch House is and I know what chill wave is, so I'm thinking if it's influenced by it, I'm gonna have a good idea. But let's see the albums. So the first, oh shit. Okay. Ah, well, I know this one, Playboy Carti, Die Lit. Never heard it, but I know it's a very famous album. Actually, it's the album with the most votes on this list, because yeah, this is the first one based on the number, on the actual rating, but it's got only 800 ratings. This one has got 14,000, and it says it's trap, cloud rap, and southern hip hop. I mean, I guess it could be a good option. What genre is lo-fi beats? Well, I think lo-fi has kind of become a genre by now, but I think it's considered to be lo-fi hip-hop. You know, again, I think that's another genre that became a genre for how much memed it was. In reality, it's just like hip-hop beats, which are, you know, the beats are a bit delayed, and it uses jazz chords, meaning seventh chords and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not sure about it, but you can look up the very famous stream, lo-fi hip-hop beats to study and relax to. That's what it sounds like. Okay, and Nini says people usually confuse cloud rap to trap. Yeah, I'm guessing it probably sounds similar. But to be honest, I am not much into trap music. It bores me. It makes my brain numb. You know what I mean. So I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I'm gonna play some Playboy Carti Die Lit just to see what this is about, because it really is the first time I hear about this genre, cloud rap. I guess I'm just gonna go really quick through this song. I think the audio is on, right? Yeah. They're repetitive. Very repetitive. Not that's a bad thing, but I particularly don't like this type of music. Yeah, it all comes down to hip hop. I do like hip hop, but I like the more noisy and experimental types of hip hop, or the jazziest types of hip hop. But still, this cloud rap thing, I guess I could give it a try. I guess I could give it a try with this record, if this is what cloud rap really sounds like. Otherwise, if you know a better example or a more representative example of this genre, just let me know, and I will review the chat later and listen to the whole album. That way I'm gonna have a better idea. So far, I will give cloud rap a nah, man. It's not really my cup of tea either. Most music that is very similar to trap, I just cannot get it. I don't get it. But I do love the production, though. The production is very lush. I think that's probably the strongest aspect of this genre. Now let's continue. Instrumental hip-hop, it's very lazy. I mean, instrumental hip-hop probably simply means the backing track. And I don't know if it should be considered a separate genre. Besides, I am wondering, what really makes hip-hop hip-hop? Isn't it the rap? At least, as far as I'm concerned, rap is the technique, the vocal technique of rhyming rhythmically to a backing track, and the genre should be called hip-hop. Rap is the technique. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I thought. Nah, man, sorry, I'm not much into it. I'm sorry. I'm just speaking from my personal taste. It doesn't mean it's any objectively good or bad. I'm just trying to be honest. And well, I was thinking about that instrumental hip hop. What would make it hip hop? Right? I guess you know, I guess hip hop has evolved with a very specific set of beats and chords, chord progressions. But most of the times, I think you could use anything as a backing track, and you could still call it hip hop if you have a rap track over it. At least that's the way I see it. I'm not sure what instrumental hip hop would imply then. And well, now we have trap rap. Okay, and I forgot to say instrumental hip hop. Meh, man. Not sure what it really implies, other than, you know, backing tracks for rapping. Now, trap rap. I think it is very explicative. Probably just hip hop combined with trap. I'm probably not gonna like it, but I'm curious. So I'm gonna look it up. Let's see what trap rap is. I didn't even get a result. Perhaps like this. Oh, I forgot to include the genre filter. Still no results. Maybe rap trap. If I don't get anything, I'm just gonna give up. I think I have the idea of what this is, and I don't think I'm gonna like it. Nope, no results. Oh, Ulti Shadow or J Dilla. Okay, yeah, I get it, I think. And I do like it. But again, I think it's very shady what instrumental hip hop really means. I think it could be many things. I would give it the benefit of the doubt. I would just say, man, could be good. And again, I didn't get anything for rap trap, so I'm just gonna let it pass this one, unless you know what it is and you can give me an example. Now, pop punk. Fucking pop punk. Probably the cheesiest, most annoying variation of punk ever made. I have heard plenty of it, especially in my teenage years. You know, I used to like some bands like, I don't know, I like Yellow Card. What other good pop punk bands are there? I've listened to Blink-182, of course, on 41, but most of them don't really hold up now that I've grown older. I think it's very immature. It's a very immature type of music, and you don't even need to listen to the lyrics. I think even the music sounds very teenagey. I don't know. That's the impression I get. I guess it's probably because it's always paired with these stupid comedies like American Pie, and you get the soundtrack. You get a soundtrack with these pop punk bands, and I associate it with, you know, being in a frat and throwing parties and getting drunk and being in love with a 14-year-old. It just sounds very cheesy to me, and I don't enjoy it very much now. But I know there are some good bands. Again, I think Yellow Card is a very good pop punk band. I don't know. Now I'm curious. I want to see what are the best rated pop punk bands in Rate Your Music, and see how many of these I have actually heard. So we have this one again. Thanks Sorry by Jeff Rosenstock. I think I should probably listen to this. Another one by Jeff Rosenstock. I haven't listened to this. Real Big Fish, our live album is better than your live album. Of course. And another live album by Green Day. Well, I used to like Green Day too, but I lost interest when I grew older. There are some pop punk. I don't think I can call them a pop punk band, but My Chemical Romance, I guess they do have some pop punk songs. Not all of it, of course. But My Chemical Romance, I used to love them when I was a kid, and I still love them. They are still one of my favorite bands. They're awesome. And it's one of those bands that I found more interesting the older I got. But most of these bands, again, I just realized how cheesy and cheap they were. Even Green Day, I never thought
I don't think now, and I never thought any of their albums were any good. American Idiot is alright. American Idiot is alright, but I didn't even get how's this called, Dookie. Anyways, the album in which Basket Case is in, I didn't even get that album. I didn't really like it so much, and I didn't really like any of their music besides from American Idiot, and just a bit. And see, this is what I meant. The Black Parade, I guess it could be considered pop punk, but I wouldn't call it so. I would just call it alternative rock. Dark Cabaret, Jesus Christ, emo pop. No, man. I don't know. I guess to me, My Chemical Romance are just in their own very special thing. I have just so much love for My Chemical Romance. Anyways, yeah. I mean, yes. I guess you're right, man. I guess I could consider them pop punk. Some of it. I'm Not Okay definitely is a pop punk anthem, but it's one of my least favorite My Chemical Romance songs. But yeah, most of it, I don't really like it. But there are some bands which I do enjoy. So pop punk gets a meh rating. Now blues rock, I do like blues rock. I've heard plenty of it, but the only album that I can remember actually liking very much is Derek and the Dominos, Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs. It's a beautiful album, very intense, very emotional, and I think it made me love this combination of blues and rock music. And but that's really one of the very few albums that I can remember from this genre. I guess there might be a bit more. Maybe some Captain Beefheart albums like Safe as Milk count as blues rock. It's pretty cool, but most of it doesn't really get me. I will give it a yeah man to blues rock. I will give it a yeah man because the albums that I have heard that could be considered blues rock are actually pretty good. The other ones aren't really bad, but they just aren't very memorable. Now, alternative rock, I guess. I guess that's what I meant by indie rock. But I think I see how it can be different. Because when I think of alternative rock, I think of the Smashing Pumpkins. And one of my favorite albums ever is Siamese Dream, which I think could be safely considered an alternative rock album. And so can My Chemical Romance. That's what I'd say My Chemical Romance are. And well, I guess just Modest Mouse, for example, Modest Mouse can be considered as alternative rock. And the more I think about it, the more really good bands come to me as a very good example of alternative rock. Very high quality musicianship, very catchy tunes too, great production. And at the end of the day, what alternative rock meant in the first place was defying the conventions of rock music with the instrumentation and with the structures. So I think it's a very noble genre. I mostly love it, as ambiguous as it is. Yeah, man, definitely. New Wave. Well, as I said, I like New Wave. It's a bit difficult yet for me to point it out, but I always associate it with Remain in Light by Talking Heads, and it is one of my favorite albums of all time. But I would like to get deeper into it. Let's see what I get with New Wave. Thank you, Nini. I will see you later. Maybe I will stop the stream on the next tier, and I will continue with the rest of it for another time. Maybe I should do that. Now, let's see what New Wave is. Okay. New Wave appeared in the late 1970s, largely influenced by the punk rock explosions of the mid 1970s, as well as pop rock and electronic music. A close relative of and a stylistic counterpart to post-punk, which appeared at around the same time and was also influenced by punk rock. Okay, let's see the albums. Yeah, of course we have the two most famous Talking Head albums. Well, the live album and the most famous studio album. It's perfect. There's nothing else I can say. I don't really like too much London Calling by The Clash. I think it's a bit boring at times. Maybe I should listen to it more often. I don't like The Clash that much, but it's alright. have The Jam, King Crimson, Discipline by King Crimson. Yeah, it's when they began to deviate a bit from the prog rock aesthetic. You know, the more classical prog rock approach. It's still pretty good, and actually Discipline is one of my favorite King Crimson records, aside from the obvious debut in the Court of the Crimson King. So yeah, I mean it's still a bit difficult for me to distinguish new wave from other forms of of alternative rock movements like post punk. But as far as I'm concerned, it's really good, and it gets an absolute yeah man from me. Now Baroque Pop, I've heard plenty of it too, but I'm still not really sure what it means. Baroque Pop, I guess it means, you know, pop music or traditional pop structured music with more ornamentation. I think what comes to mind now is fucking the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones. I think I could consider some of their music as Baroque pop. I like it. I think it's very, very fancy. I think it was very innovative for the time it started appearing. It definitely gets a yeah man. You like New Age? Obi is asking. Stuff like Enya, I guess. I think not. I mean, I don't think I've heard Enya. But New Age, I've always associated it with this, yeah, I don't know, like this very transcendental, meditative, is that the word? Meditative music. You know, like stuff to do yoga too. Not my thing, but I can give it a try. I can definitely give it a try. But this heavy chant based music, which is what I associate with new wave, with new age, I mean, sorry, I think it's my thing. But if I ever get there, I think it's in the chart, probably in the ICEBERG picture. If I ever get there, I'm gonna give it a try. Anyways, we only have one more, which is glitch hop. Glitch hop. Well, I know what glitch hop is. I think you could say some of Death Grips is glitch hop. You know, it incorporates all of this failing electronic sounds, like when your computer absolutely fails and the screen goes off. You know, all of those sorts of noises. I think that's what it means. I think Death Grips, or what's this one called? Visions of Corpses Being Burned. Clipping. That's the project I was looking for. Clipping. I think that could be considered glitch hop. It's pretty cool. I like that heavy and noisy approach to hip hop, so it gets a definite yeah man from me. I think, let me see, this is the third tier. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fucking hell. Well, I think we can get one more tier and do the rest of them for another time. It's getting a bit late. I honestly didn't think I was gonna get so deep into these genres, but it's just fun. It's just fun to discover and discuss all of this. So I'm just gonna go for the third tier here. It's not so deep yet, apparently. But again, I don't think this ICEBERG meme is very accurate, you know, based on the genres that you see here. Here's thrash metal. Why would thrash metal be any more obscure than fucking, I don't know, than fucking glitch hop or future bass? I have no idea, but oh well. I don't think it matters much. Now, this was just in the middle. Bubblegum Bass. I have no idea what Bubblegum Bass is. So let's look this up. Okay, Bubblegum Bass is a style of electronic dance music that originated in the early 2010s. It takes pop music and amplifies its cuteness and femininity to extreme levels. Cuteness and femininity? What the fuck are you talking about? Often pitching the vocals upward and warping the rhythm through a frenzied UK bass and wonky filter. This sounds terrible. Ah, shit. Okay, let's see. Let's see the records. It's an album by Sophie. Oil of Every Pearls on Insights. And again, Charlie XCX. I mean, I've heard of this album, but I never really heard it. Electro Pop, Hyper Pop. I never really liked the idea of Hyper Pop. I don't like the sound of Hyper Pop at all. I think it's really annoying. I just hope Bubblegum Bass isn't any similar. But I'm gonna give Sophie a try. It's Bubblegum Bass and Deconstructed Club. Okay. Let's take a listen. Oil of Every Pearls on Insights. Yeah, film score is genre. It's like video game OST. Doesn't make sense. Let's see this. Doesn't sound very cute to me. It's annoying, as I expected. Yep, not very cute at all. I expected something more, I don't know, lively. This seems dark and heavy. Not that it's a bad thing, but I wonder if this is a good representation of bubblegum bass. And yeah, very, very bass inclined, obviously. I don't know, it's not really my type of thing, but I think I should give it a try, because again, I like dark and heavy stuff in music combined with anything. So I might give this a try, but so far it's just a meh to me. How was this bubblegum based shit? Hello, the metalhead. Ponyboy? What do you mean, man? Oh, not all of that. Oh, it's an album then. Ponyboy. Not all of that album is bubblegum based. It's also some Deconstructed Club kind of sound. That is new to me, Deconstructed Club. That is also new to me. Again, I listen to lots of shit without even realizing the genre they might fit into. So maybe I do know some of Deconstructed Club. But it's the first time I actually hear the term. And Obi says they are missing one type of music though. Penis music. Could you explain to me what penis music is? Again, maybe I know what penis music is. I just didn't know it. That's how it was called. Penis music. It wasn't pussy pop a genre also? I don't know. Anyways, bubblegum bass. Meh, man. Britpop. I know what Britpop is. But what makes it so different from other types of pop? I mean, that's what I really never got. So let's look up Britpop. It's a subset of alternative rock, that developed in the United Kingdom during the early 1990s. Well, I've heard the Kings, I've heard the Beatles, I've heard the Who, but I don't think that's what it really is. Jangle pop, fucking hell. Hate that. Pulp, different class, Swede, Dogman Star, Blur, all the people. Another one by Pulp, another one by Pulp, another one by Swede, or Suede, or however that's pronounced. Another one by Blur. Well, I've heard some Blur albums, but not these ones. Another one by Swede, another one by Swede, and well, Park Life by Blur, which is a very fun album, and it's only categorized as Britpop. That's the fucking genre, Britpop. Okay, so it's just, again, it's difficult for me to point out what makes Britpop a legit genre. But from what I've heard, things seems to be okay. I would give it a yeah, man, just because I really like Park Life by Blur. But I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean. See, that's the thing with having this many genres. It just gets lost. Any single variation, musically speaking, could make up a different genre. And I don't know if that's good or bad. It just makes it a little more confusing and more difficult to navigate in. But okay, yeah, Britpop gets a yeah, man. It's right. Shoegaze, I don't even have to say it. Shoegaze is a definite yeah, man from me. It's probably I probably like shoegaze as much as I like jazz in all its forms, and I do love shoegaze in all its forms too. I like all of the combinations that shoegaze can have with other genres, such as shoegaze slash noise pop, or with post punk, or with black metal. I love black gaze. I love black gaze more than I love shoegaze and black metal separately. So shoegaze, it's awesome. I think it's been very influential for many of many modern artists, and it's even been very influential for me as a musician. I love shoegaze. It's gonna be in the top of my list, I think, for my whole life. Okay, let's continue. I don't even know where to continue. Should I go down? Should I go to the right? Well, synth pop. Let's go to the right. Synth pop. I know what synth pop is. I think probably the Human League does count in this genre. Pop music which is based on synths. Let's see what Rate Your Music says. Synth pop. Yeah. I have the idea. Kraftwerk. Well, initially spearheaded by crud rock band Kraftwerk. Yeah, but it's not really it, is it? Of course, a perfect album. Depeche Mode Violator, which could also be considered darkwave. I love it. Yes, Dimension Machine. I don't know how to pronounce that article, but yes, very cool. I haven't listened to any of these two. We have lots of Kraftwerk. We have another one by Depeche Mode. We have New Order, synth pop, new wave, post punk. Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, man, music for the masses again. What the fuck? Carly Rae Jepsen, Emotion? I didn't know. No, I didn't imagine it. But yeah, lots of Depeche Mode, lots of Kraftwerk, New Order, Tears for Fears. Yeah, okay, so I know what synth pop is, of course. I like it. Gets a definite yeah, man. For for penis music search, Jackal Queenstown Rubber Band used to be a meme. And yes, exactly, Metalhead Otter. That's the reason why I like genres too. I think, when you find a band that you really enjoy and you want to find more similar things, yeah, you can just look up the genre and see what other bands will probably have a similar sound. I like that idea, but I think sometimes they get too specific, and to the point in which it becomes a joke. I'm not sure. I mean, again, to me, things like Vaporwave probably shouldn't be a genre, because it seems like a joke to me. It seems to be just an ironic take on other types of music. Nightcore shouldn't be a genre, and then that's just what I'm saying. But I do like the idea, of course, of classifying music according to its characteristics. Yes, I mean, if you're really into something, if you're really into a specific sound, it's gonna be easier for you to find more similar stuff. Yeah, definitely. I think I am tempted to look for this penis music, Jackal Queenstown Rubber Band. Why the fuck is it called penis music? It's furries? Why furries? What the fuck is this? Penis music, 1 hour, 4.5 million views. This is 8 years ago. Penis music. Fuck off. But this is like drum and bass. Well, those vocals or whatever, they are very stupid, but musically it's just drum and bass to me. What makes it penis music? What even makes a genre? Okay, so let's continue. Synth pop, yeah man, definitely. Industrial metal, I haven't heard much. I probably only heard Turmion, Katilot and Rammstein. I guess, I don't know if you could consider Nine Inch Nails to be industrial metal. Maybe it's just industrial. But I do like it. Yeah man, definitely. Industrial metal. New Age, well, we got there. We got to New Age. But I actually do have to look it up because, again, I'm not sure what it is. Probably heard it before. I associate it with those 5-hour playlists of music to meditate to. I don't know. Well, let's see what this is. New Age. New Age is a genre of music that tends to focus on peaceful, meditative and relaxing melodies. Yeah, that's just what I thought. New Age can take many forms. Electronic New Age uses soft synths, long sustained notes and simple drum beats, while acoustic New Wave uses instruments such as flutes, piano and guitar to create a calm atmosphere. Okay, it seems like I would probably enjoy more. I'd probably enjoy more the acoustic type of New Age. Oh, Vangelis, he's the composer of Blade Runner, isn't he? I love that. I love that soundtrack. And yep, we have Enya as a New Age example. Somebody recommended it just a second ago. That is interesting. The soundtrack for Nier Automata is considered to be New Age. Well, then I like it. Yes, it's musically it's beautiful, and it's all in Japanese. Umineko no naku koro ni chiru music box. I don't know. More Japanese. My cold feel progressive rock New Age. Well, I think I have an idea, but I'm gonna listen to you, and I'm gonna look for Enya. I'm gonna look for Enya. Penis music is a joke term specifically for that song. Me and my friends use it to describe anything that sounds penisy. Well, I'm not a penis expert, but I think I get the gist. I think I get it, man. Anyway, so I'm gonna look for Enya, see if I give New Age a pass. The very best of Enya, okay? That should do it. Nah. What the fuck? An ad? Oh, I got an ad. Can't be.
En los últimos meses,
Oh, come on.
el Bitcoin pasó de los $4,000 a más de $60,000.
Sounds like the same song, and I'm not even sure if it is. Get the idea. Nah, I don't like it. Isn't that fucking... Okay, tell me if I'm right. Isn't like that meme song... How's it called? That song that goes... Dorime, da 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 na 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 lancirei. Wouldn't that song be considered New Age too? It sounds New Agey. And I understand, man. I mean, it's not really my thing. Any song that sounds maybe that is trying to be very transcendental or very meditative gets on my nerves. It really gets on my nerves. Instead of finding it peaceful or relaxing, I find it annoying. But and I was thinking about that other song, the song I was talking about, because it's been memed so hard that I cannot take that kind of shit seriously. Like
that kind of shit that sounds like it's sung in a church. It just doesn't do it for me. So I'm gonna give New Age the benefit of the doubt and call it a man. I know there's just something missing for me. Maybe spiritual peace, maybe it's something personal, but I just cannot connect with it. Now, what the fuck is AOR? I don't know that. Maybe I know it, but not as an acronym. AOR? I wonder if I will find it. Okay. Adult-oriented rock? Come on, man. It's like adult contemporary shit. Adult-oriented rock is a subgenre of rock that emerged in the late 1970s and early 1980s as an amalgamation of hard rock, pop rock, and progressive rock. Adult-oriented rock. It sounds so stupid, but I'm gonna give it a chance. Maybe I've even heard some of it. Wet, one live in Stockholm, another live album by fucking Toto. Well, if you tell me Africa by Toto is adult-oriented rock, I might give it a pass. Def Leppard, another live album. It's just live albums. Danger, Danger, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard any of these, actually. Well, here's Boston again. Hard rock, adult-oriented rock. It just sounds hard to believe that it is a real genre. But, well, when you think about it, there is, kids pop, right? So if there is music for kids, music for children, there has to be music for adults. That's what makes sense. But still, it's kind of a weird take. I might explore this genre later. Yes, Era. Yeah. Era, that's the band I was talking about. New Age. Sounds very, very cheesy to me. I don't know. It's not my thing. But anyways, I might get deeper into AOR when I get a better idea of what this is, because to me it seems like a weird, pretentious term that doesn't really tell me anything except it's hard rock, but not so shitty hard rock. I don't know. So I'm gonna abstain from saying yeah man or nah man, but I think it's gonna be a nah man. I don't know. Ambient, it's a weird take on genre to say ambient, because it could be anything, right? It could be ambient for what? For a movie, for a video game. It could be very peaceful. It could be very exciting. It could be very terrifying. So ambient is kind of a weird term as a genre, and I associate it with film and video game soundtracks. Guess it could be really good, but I wouldn't call it a genre. Guess a jam man, because I really enjoy some movie and video game soundtracks independently. Now, Sunshine Pop is weird. What the devil is Sunshine Pop? Let's see. See, look at all of these pops. It was bass, right? Bubblegum Bass, and I think we heard something pop at the beginning. What was that called? No, it was future bass too. It wasn't pop, it was bass. Still, all of these weird terms. Sunshine Pop. Sunshine Pop is a retrospective term for a more cheerful or wistful style of pop, which emerged in the mid-1960s as soft pop. Influenced by easy listening, jingles, and psychedelia. The genre largely consisted of lesser-known artists who imitated more popular groups like The Association, the Mamas and the Papas, and the Fifth Dimension. Seems boring. And, okay, it says the style should not be conflated with sunshine, happy music, or Beach Boys-esque music. Well, that's good to hear, because I fucking hate happy-sounding music. I don't mind the Beach Boys. I like Pet Sounds.
Kind of. I do think it's a bit of an overrated album. I know, it's been influential production wise, whatever, but I find the music really boring. But one of the most boring albums I have ever heard is called Smile by fucking Brian Wilson. Anything that sounds remotely similar to Smile by Brian Wilson is absolutely a nah man for me. Really, if it's trying to make you smile, it's probably gonna make me frown. I really fucking hate try hard happy tunes. I think that's the reason why all of us, right? All of us hate Happy by Pharrell Williams. It's annoying. Stop trying to tell us how we should feel. Or whatever. I mean, happy sounding music as a whole just doesn't do it for me. And Sunshine Pop sounds very happy. So this seems like a good fucking the Beach Boys. Pop rock Sunshine Pop. Fuck me. Well, let's listen to this one because it's new. Begin by the Millennium. Begin by the Millennium. Let's just give it a quick listen. Oh shit. Okay, let's play to Claudia on Thursday. Really quick. I could listen to this. At least the production is quite good. Oh. What is that? Poppies? Seals? I guess I could give it a try, but this is totally a new term for me, Sunshine Pop. However, I totally grasp the idea. I think I will give it a man because this kind of music usually is very well produced and is very richly layered, musically speaking, harmonically speaking, and I can get into it, but I think it would need to be a very good a very good album. I'm gonna consider what you say. You California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. So if that's a good project, I might check it out. But personally speaking, happy sounding music, or at least too in the face happy sounding music, just doesn't do it for me. Sounds too annoying. Sounds too impositive. But still, I will give Sunshine Pop a meh. Just meh. Post rock. I love post rock. Even though, it's not on the top of my list, post rock, because I do find it a bit pretentious and generic sometimes. I feel like all of these very long introductions and very ambient based guitars and ethereal atmospheres, I think they can become a bit repetitive sometimes, especially when post rock becomes generic instead of being something innovative. Some of my favorite albums ever, I think they could be considered as post rock. I Lift Your Skinny Fists Like Antennas to Heaven by Godspeed You Black Emperor. It's a beautiful album. It's perfect. I think it's one of the best albums period, but also one of the best examples of post rock that anyone could find. And I also enjoy the Swans record, Soundtracks for the Blind. And I love other Swans records such as The Seer and To Be Kind. I don't know if those two could be considered as post rock because they are very drony too, and they are very experimental, and they play around with many different genres. But I think the idea of post rock sometimes is that it isn't very defined. It just means that you play with different elements from elements that aren't very common in traditional rock music, and you twist it around, and that's very noble, and I enjoy it. However, again, sometimes it can be very generic. This project, God is an Astronaut. I was thinking about the name. Godspeed You Black Emperor. God is an Astronaut. What's it with God anyway? But I think this project, God is an Astronaut, very generic. That's exactly the type of post-rock that I don't like. It sounds extremely predictable, and it sounds drowned out for no reason. So I give post-rock a yeah man, but I just really wish there was more variety to it. It just sounds like an excuse to make really long fucking songs with no changes at all. There are ways to make it good. I just hope there was more of it. Okay. Let's take another look at, melodic black metal. Well, I guess melodic death metal has to be somewhere around this list too. But melodic black metal, I don't think I've heard melodic black metal as such. I've heard atmospheric black metal, and I love it, and I would definitely give it a yeah man. I have heard, depressive suicidal black metal, which I don't like that much because most of the projects are very stupid and very cringy. And melodic black metal, I'm guessing it's of the sort of, I don't know, maybe Agaloch, maybe Abigail Williams. I'm not sure what I could consider melodic black metal, so I'm just gonna look it up. Melodic black metal. But I do like black metal very much, so I am sure that I would like it. Dissection, two albums by Dissection. I should listen to it. I haven't listened to them, any of them actually. Winter, I know Winter, I like them. Sacramentum, Dawn, another by Winter. Kvist, whatever that's called. Winterland, Rotting Christ. I know Rotting Christ. Pretty cool. Another Winter, more Rotting Christ. Well, it seems to be the pattern that every time a genre is very specific, the top albums are by the same bands. I'm thinking I would probably really like melodic black metal. So I'm gonna take the time in the future to listen to some Dissection because I haven't done it, and I am sure they're probably really good. I mean, look at this fucking thing. Look at the icy landscape, cold, melodic, winter, somber. Seems like my kind of shit. So I will give it a try later. Still, I've heard some of these. I've heard Winter, and I love them. I've heard Rotting Christ. So it gets a yeah, man, definitely. Let's continue. Psychedelic rock. I don't think I have to look this up. I like psychedelic rock sometimes when it's not too in the face psychedelic. When it just doesn't seem like a lot of drugged up nonsense, I do like it. And well, if you consider some Pink Floyd albums to actually be psychedelic rock, like The Dark Side of the Moon or Wish You Were Here, which to me are more progressive than exactly or only psychedelic, I do love them. I think they're amazing. And well, I guess I have many of them, but I need to check it out. I need to check out the best rated albums in here. Why did I misspell it? Psychedelic rock. Did I misspell it? No, I think I did. Anyways, psych rock. Let's see the albums. Yeah, The Doors by The Doors. Pretty cool. Are You Experienced by the Jimi Hendrix Experience? Why did I forget about this one? It's one of my favorite albums ever. It's an absolute 10 out of 10. I love Are You Experienced. Electric Ladyland, that one I haven't heard. Tagomago by Can, another one of my absolute favorite albums ever. I would call it crowd rock, exactly. But it's still very fucking avant-garde-ish. Really fucking noisy. And yeah, I can imagine myself tripping out to it. Love Forever Changes, another very, very charming album. I love it. Here we have some Pink Floyd, Grateful Dead. Oh, King Gizzard. I wouldn't consider them to be psychedelic, but still. Okay, I love The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. I think it's one of the most underrated Pink Floyd albums, and definitely their most psychedelic. The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Gotta love fucking, how's it called? Interstellar Overdrive? Gotta love that tune. It's so crazy. I love it. I can imagine the producers recording the thing, like what the fuck is going on. It's great. So psychedelic rock gets it gets a definite pass. And which one are you saying, man? Arthur Brown for psych rock? Was it Arthur Brown? Do you mean that you saw him here or something? Or what do you mean? Like I should listen to it? I haven't heard anything by Arthur Brown really. Okay, let's continue. We're about to finish this tier. IDM, also known as intelligent dance music. Another very pretentious term, but I understand what it means, I think. Probably the only thing I've heard, the only IDM thing I've heard is Aphex Twin. Probably Boards of Canada too, I guess. I think it could fit in the IDM category. And I love both. I mean, if you can really consider Aphex Twin and Boards of Canada to be IDM, I gotta say I love them. So IDM gets a pass. Yeah, man. Although I'm not really sure what IDM is supposed to mean. I mean, intelligent dance music. Does it mean simply that, I don't know, that it's rhythmically or harmonically more complex and that only big brains can understand it? I don't know. But again, if you can associate it with these two projects, Aphex Twin and Boards of Canada, yeah, man, definitely. Chill Wave, know what it is. I think I've only heard one project, which is Taiko, long time ago. Not sure if I know any more of it, Chill Wave. So I should look it up. No, I didn't get anything. Oh yeah. Indietronica from 2009, sorry, that's why I did it recently. We have Slide by George Clanton, Torrey Moy. I think I've heard this one before. Okay, I don't know any of these, so I should go for one. Maybe one with many votes. One that isn't so undergroundish. Actually, the first one seems to be it. Slide by George Clanton. Let's see what this is. Oh, I couldn't look, Obi, sorry. I guess it is, but at least in the top 20 it wasn't. Okay, Slide, George Clanton. Oh. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I love the texture. Well, if Chill Wave sounds like this, I actually like it. Didn't expect it. So it gets a yeah, man. Chill Wave. It's pretty cool. Alright, conscious hip hop. Another weird term to me that's probably mostly have to do with the lyrics. And the only instance I think I can remember about conscious hip hop is Kendrick Lamar. Sometimes they call it conscious hip hop. I guess the only difference is that he's not talking about bitches and money, and that makes it somehow conscious. Like it is aware of social problems or whatever. Kind of a weird term for me, but let's look it up. Let's look it up and rate your music. Oh, I didn't even get it. Conscious hip, maybe with the dash. Oh shit. Oh man, I don't know if I didn't use the fucking tag. I mean the fucking filter. Okay, Conscious hip hop. I think this should do it. Nope. But what is even conscious hip hop? Is it what I'm saying? Maybe if I look to Pimp a Butterfly, it's gonna be in the genres. Let's see. Conscious hip hop. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have included the dash. Conscious hip hop is a term applied to hip hop artists whose lyrics deal with social issues. Yeah. It has parallels with political hip hop, although its focus is extended to topics such as religion, African American culture, everyday life, and the state of hip hop itself. Okay, yeah, that's what I imagined. To me, it's a bit weird. That, some genres have specific subdivisions based on the lyrics. I think it's weird to say conscious hip hop is somehow different than simply hip hop, but I get the idea. I know hip hop hasn't always been about these conscious themes, but still, just because I like hip hop as a whole, yeah, it sounds like a pseudo genre. But just because I like hip hop as a whole, I would say, yeah, man. I mean, conscious hip hop, yeah, man. I mean, if you can somehow make hip hop more serious, and if you can make some elitists take it more seriously, so be it. It just, yeah, it's a pseudo genre. It doesn't resonate with me as a full genre. Now, industrial hip hop, I think just like glitch hop, I think bands like Death Grips and Clipping can fit into this category. I haven't heard much more of it, but I think I do like it. But because again, I think the noisier the better, at least in my taste. And yes, I mean, definitely a yeah, man. Dubstep. I am a newbie to dubstep, and I am not even sure if Skrillex actually classifies as dubstep. What I understand is that you have, progressive house music with dub influences. Dub is like electronic reggae or something like that. I am not very aware of that, so let's look it up. Let's see what this says. Let's see what exactly dubstep is. It's a genre of electronic dance music, yeah, characterized by heavy bass, broken beats, and spacious sound, which emerged from the British underground scene. Okay. Okay, let's see the albums. Oh, fucking course. Untrue by Burial. I love that album. And Burial by Burial, which I haven't heard, but yeah. Yeah, I totally forgot about Untrue. It's a great album. Very, very chill in my opinion. Not as noisy as most people would associate dubstep with. I really love it, but I think that's probably the only one of these that I have heard. But yes, if the best representation of dubstep is Untrue by Burial, I give it a go. It's great. So it gets a definite yeah, man. Post-hardcore. I love post-hardcore. I think people should be more willingly open to listen to it, because they mostly associate with emo angst, and that's no coincidence. You have bands like From First to Last, which I'm talking about fucking Skrillex, and which I don't like too much, because most post-hardcore really is very generic and very samey and very cringy. I understand that. But there are very good post-hardcore bands. I mean, man, look at the Drive-In. The guys from the Mars Volta were playing post-hardcore before they were playing in the Mars Volta. And you can tell. I mean, even in the Mars Volta, you can see some post-hardcore influences. And I think it's really cool. And, well, that's only talking about modern post-hardcore, right? I mean, I like Funeral for a Friend, too, as well. They're a great band. But I think... there's more bands that I would consider to be post-hardcore, like Husker Du. I don't know how to pronounce the name Husker Du, or Refused. I think those bands are really great and everyone should listen to them. I think when I think of post-hardcore, that's what I think about. I think hardcore punk with some extra spice. And I think these two bands which I've mentioned, especially Refused, I think they totally get it. It's amazing. Post-hardcore gets a yeah man from me. Now, thrash metal. I have a special place in my heart for thrash metal. I think everyone knows it. I don't think I have to go any deeper into it. And most people I know that got into metal got into it because of thrash metal, because they listened to Metallica, for example, or they listened to Megadeth. I really didn't, and that's probably the reason why Metallica never resonated with me. So Metallica to me isn't a good example of what thrash metal should be, not even their first albums. But when I think of other bands such as Megadeth or Slayer, I think, fuck yeah, man, they're amazing. I love them. And my first experience with music was with thrash metal. When I was in high school, I used to have a thrash metal band, and I was a drummer, so I had to listen to lots of thrash metal, even some variations of thrash metal, such as crossover thrash, like Municipal Waste or Dirty Rotten Imbeciles, and it is pretty good. So I give thrash metal a yeah man. Not all of it, honestly. Some of it really bores me, especially the infinite palm muting riffs, dun, 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 and that kind of stuff. But it bores me to death. But some of it is really good. Now we have progressive metal. I think it's a very broad term, but I definitely love progressive metal just as much as I love progressive rock. And honestly, I don't even know if it's gonna be here. But when I think of progressive metal, I think about bands like Opeth. Well, not all of it is progressive, honestly. Not entirely, because they've got elements such as death metal and black metal even, and in later in their career they're just progressive rock. But that's what I think about when I think of modern progressive metal, which probably is known better as gent. That's the kind of shit I don't like at all. I don't like the kind of progressive metal that most people probably associate with the genre now. I am not sure if it is fair to compare it, because gent has kind of become a different genre by now. But bands like Animals as Leaders, stuff like that, it's okay for a few minutes, but then it gets very, very uninspired to me. Like the fact of having odd time signatures and very fast riffs and stuff like that doesn't quite make it up. And that's exactly the problem I have with bands like Dream Theater. To me, it is extremely uninspired. I don't think it is as interesting as some people seem to think. And it's the same. I have to admit, it's the same for some bands like Tool. I like Tool, but I don't think they're anything too special. I think it's very easy to emulate Tool's sound. Maybe that's a good thing. I mean, maybe it's because they have a very distinctive sound, but once you've heard a few of their songs, I think you've heard all of it. So progressive metal, it's alright, but I just wish most progressive metal bands actually were progressive, and instead of just playing in odd time signatures and calling that progressive. I give it a yeah man, because I know great things can come from it, but most of the times it just doesn't do it for me. Yeah man, it's alright. Yeah man. Power metal, I guess I haven't heard enough power metal. I don't know if stuff like Halloween can be considered power metal. I think it is. But as a whole, I don't like it so much. I think this whole new classical approach and endless solos in metal is boring. I just don't like guitar solos at all, especially not in rock and metal music. But I especially don't like the singing in power metal, like this very high pitched male vocals. I think they are annoying. It's just a personal taste, though. But I'd give it a man, because I know musically speaking, it is very technical. It is very virtuosic. But obviously, that's not all there is to music. So I don't know. Simply meh. I cannot take it too seriously, really. You know, this whole time and earth and space and dragons and fighting stuff. No, not my thing. Anyways, UK bass. UK bass. More bass. We have Bubblegum Bass and something else bass. Too many basses. Let's see what this is, because this is new to me too. UK bass with dash, so that I actually can find it. No, maybe UK bass just like this. I don't think I will find it just like that. But I wonder what that is. I don't think it would make a difference, would it? No, it doesn't make a difference. Maybe this project itself, Cutlass Supreme, maybe this is UK bass. I don't know. Well, it seems like not even the music nerds at Radio Music have a category for UK bass. No idea. My loss, I guess. But I'm gonna skip this one. Now, Jungle Pop. Jungle Pop. I am not sure of what this is, but I think it's kind of like some of the Beatles songs could be considered as Jungle Pop. Because it's like a jangle. Oh no. Jungle Pop is it's rock music subgenre with roots in the post-punk explosion. And so I'm wrong then, no. Influenced by 1960s folk rock artists like the Byrds. No, I've already talked about the fucking Byrds now, man. I don't think I'm gonna like this. As well as the power pop of groups like Big Star. It's characterized for merging the sounds of chiming, jangly guitars and pop-oriented melodies with a somewhat rawer musical approach and production of values. Oh no! Oh, I think I know what it means. It's like the Smiths. That's Jungle Pop. Don't tell me the Queen is there. I knew it. I knew the Queen is Dead. It was gonna be the first one. Jungle Pop, indie pop, and post-punk, and there's the Smiths again. Well, I am not much into the Smiths. I've always just considered them to be post-punk. Now I see I can call them Jungle Pop. I guess that'd be right. I'm not much into it. I really like Rem Murmur. It's a great album. But I didn't know it was considered as Jungle Pop. I just called it alternative rock and post-punk. So I think I actually do like this genre. I just never thought of it as such. There's too much of the Smiths and too much of Rem. But this is pretty cool. Well, as I was saying, I'm not much into the Smiths, but The Queen is Dead is a very good album. It's one I haven't listened to many times, but the few times I have really enjoyed it, and I know how influential it is as well. So if this is really the sound of Jungle Pop, which seems to actually take over indie pop and post-punk, I give it a pass. Yeah man, to Jungle Pop. Also because we have Murmur by Rem, which is a very good album, and I have listened to more times than I have heard The Queen is Dead. Alright. Okay, we're about to finish this chart. I mean this tier at least. We only have J-pop, which I guess means Japanese pop, just like K-pop is for Korean. I'm not really sure why it would be any different from K-pop or any other kind of pop in a different language. I'm not really sure, but I should look it up. And at least take a listen to a few seconds of the first album. Yeah, that's what it is. It's boy bands mostly, it says. Shit, okay, so it is Hokago Tea Time Second, which I guess probably means it's the second album by this project, Hokago Tea Time. Oh no. It's obviously it's all Japanese, but to be honest, I don't like modern Japanese music. I mean Japanese rock and Japanese pop too much. Like the type of stuff you hear in animes, I find it really annoying. Even the production, I think in its own right, it should be a genre, yes, because it just sounds so samey. But I'm gonna give this one a try. Hokago Tea Time Second. I'm gonna give it a quick try. Oh no. Oh no. See, that's what I fucking hate about this type of music, the voice. What's it with this type of voices? When did people actually get to believe that the higher pitched and more childlike the voice is, the better? It's weird. It's very annoying. You know, I have the same impression as when I hear these Nightcore songs. Whoever thought it was a good idea to high pitch all of these voices, like listening to the Chipmunks. It's weird. And it's annoying, and I'm gonna get an ad. Nah, if this is what J-pop mostly sounds like, it gets a nah, man, from me. I find it very childish and very annoying. Well, we just have one more on this tier, which is actually kind of in the middle, but if you look closely, it's mostly on this tier and not in the next one. I am actually very excited for the next one, but I think I'm gonna do those later, on another day. Okay, so the next genre in here is film fucking score, which in my opinion shouldn't be a genre because a film score could be any genre. I mean, the music you have from films like Blade Runner aren't the same you get from The Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. They just aren't the same. And obviously it's not gonna be the same for a horror movie or a sentimental teen drama movie. It's not going to be the same. So it's weird to classify film score as a genre. I know this iceberg meme doesn't have to be very accurate, but this is just the same instance as video game OST. It just shouldn't be a genre because it could be anything. But anyways, I have some very very beloved film scores in my list. Especially I especially like horror film scores because you know it's dark ambient really, but whatever. And I listen to them very often. I like the soundtrack of Mulholland Drive by David Lynch, and I listen to it very often. I actually think Angelo Badalamenti's scores for David Lynch's films are very good, and they stand on their own. I think that's an important part, that a film score stands on its own. I mean that you don't really have to be watching the movie to see it as a quality piece of art. Okay, so we have a few more tiers to see. We only saw 3 of them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. I just cannot wait to get to the eyeless dolphin, because I just really hope, man. I just really hope that once I listen to all of these genres, I will really become the eyeless dolphin. That's all I want from this life, I insist. But that's gonna be for another day. It's getting late. My ass is getting flat from sitting all of this time. I didn't think I was gonna take this long reviewing the genres, but it's been fun. And it's time to go. So thank you to everyone who stayed. Thank you for recommendations and your opinions on all of these genres. I really take them into account, and I think they are invaluable for this music journey. Okay, so I'm gonna quit it now. That's all. See you. I will probably continue this journey very soon, maybe next week.